Got to work on those transitions. Welcome. If you haven't noticed already, I'm still not done with the power supply. If you haven't caught on yet. Anyway, this is a PC that's in for repair / fix. And I was like, well, I got to do it anyway. Might as well just throw it on the stream for the hell of it. But the reason why it's in here, this particular PC, is because it randomly shuts off. Well, I've already done the testing, and it doesn't just shut off, I guess, immediately. It takes a little bit before it shuts off. So we ended up putting it on a couple of different benchmark tools and letting it run, finally proving that it is shutting off. And then after that, I plugged in a new power supply that I had here. It was 650 watts, and I wanted like a 750 or an 850 for this build. But because it's a 4070 Ti or 4070 Super, or one of the two. And I wanted a little bit of headroom in case they wanted the upgrade. The problem is, well, it's an iBuyPower. So, more things were wrong with it. And I've already fixed some of it while I've been working on this, trying to get this cleared off the bench so I could start the stream. But it's an iBuyPower, as you can see. Problem number one with this build, particularly, it's about a year old also. It's not even that old. Problem number one with these is the front here is a solid panel. So if you do own one of these, my recommendation, go over to the bottom and just take the whole thing off. And then, look, your fans can breathe. It's amazing. So that is my recommendation if you have one of these cases or builds by iBuyPower with the solid front. Also, anytime you touch it, you just instant fingerprints. The other thing that I want to point out on this build, hey, what's up, Dad Bods? Welcome back to the Build Show. Hey, what's up, Steve? What's up? How's it going? Welcome back to the Build Show. Hopefully my audio levels are okay. My stream PC was restarted, so hopefully everybody can hear me and understand me and see me. I think it's working. But this is an iBuyPower system that we're kind of repairing right now before I go into the build for David. So David, your build will be coming up here in just a moment. I just want to finish this because it's on my bench right now. And I was just talking through some of the issues. The other issue is this AIO radiator was actually, originally when it came in here, it was all the way to the front. I don't like that. I like it all the way to the back. One, it's symmetrical with the graphics card. And then two, it draws the airflow to the back of the case instead of just sucking it right out the front. And then you don't have this big gaping hole right here with the 240. So if you have a 240 and it's on the top, you should move it to the back if it's on the top and in the front. It'll help pull the airflow from the front towards the back of the PC. That is why you do that. And it's more symmetrical for the graphics card. Next is iBuyPower used a AIO with a pump built into the radiator up here. This is the pump that's built into the AIO. And here's your little pump cable for the pump header, which doesn't exist on this motherboard. But the problem is it's on the top. So now, what are we going to do? Well, I really don't want to put it on the front because, I don't know, at this situation, I'm just going to let it go. This is probably going to only last another year, and that the pump is probably going to burn out. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Herman, for that note. You are good. Thank you. Thank you. And then the other thing that was wrong with this system, on top of, the primary problem being the power supply, which is shutting off the system under a load, the other problem with this system is this RAM. This RAM is absolutely garbage. Hey, what's up, Army Vet? What's going on? Talking about yeah, you tell him, Army Vet. You tell him. Defend the Twitch land over there. But this Neo Fraza RAM that iBuyPower chose for this system is absolutely garbage. I don't know if you can see you probably can't, but let me read it off to you. So this is DDR5. This is 5200 megahertz at CL40. 32 gigs total, 216 gigabyte kit, and it's RGB, but it's garbage RAM. So, give you an idea on why iBuyPowers are always cheaper. That is why. Your AIO is the incorrect AIO for the top, number one. Number two, they installed the AIO in the wrong place. It was at the top and all the way to the front. Number three, they use absolutely garbage RAM. And number four, the power supply was dead within less than a year because of this High Power brand. Have you ever heard of High Power brand before? Nope. I haven't either. I've seen them before, of course, in iBuyPowers, and I pulled them out, but that's the only source. The only place they ever come from is from an iBuyPower or CyberPower. Another thing that I dislike, but I do happen to have to do that every now and then, especially on an extremely budget build, is the micro ATX motherboard in a full ATX case. Just seems kind of funny, but not the end of the world. That I would have let slide, especially if they're trying to cut money. I understand they're trying to save some money there, and not everybody that's buying this PC is probably going to be fully utilizing that anyway. They're more of the council person that is going to buy it and then go buy a new one when they need a new one. But yeah, that is it. Additionally, this system did have a hard drive in it, which was kind of surprising for a system that's only a year old. You don't typically see that anymore. Usually it's all SSD storage. So I did think that was interesting to have a 1 terabyte SSD and a 1 terabyte hard drive in here. Not that I'm complaining. I guess they probably have a whole bunch of them laying around and they're like, nah, let's just throw it in here. Call it a day. So what we have to finish doing here is buy once and cry once, get the good stuff. Yes, iBuyPower, I call. Its nickname is iBuyProblems. My DDR5 is CL28. Yeah, see? Much better stuff. CL28 is way better than CL40. Your RAM is almost half than the stuff that they put in this system and then actually charge somebody money for. It's like, man, you guys call yourself a gaming PC company, but you use the absolute most garbage trash parts ever. I don't understand this. I can't help but to complain about it. Normally, I don't like ragging on or, you know, getting upset about other things, you know, or just saying bad things about other people or other companies. But this is just ongoing. This is just never ending. They just keep putting together these crap machines and selling them. And then I keep having to fix them. And then I feel terrible for the people who bought them. And they're bringing them in. This is actually the second place this PC's been to. They took it into another place. They couldn't identify the problem. Or I don't even know if they said it was fixed or they just couldn't reproduce the problem, which was just shutting off randomly. So finally got here after they've searched around, was looking for somebody that knew what they were doing. And all I did was took one look at it, got it to reproduce the issue by putting a load on the CPU and the RAM. And I was like, huh, well, that shouldn't have happened. And it shut off. But the key to the shut off was it would not turn back on unless I flipped the switch on the power supply and flipped the switch back. Once I was able to do that and it powered back on, I knew exactly that it was the power supply that was causing the problem. And it is because it's a piece of crap, high power model HP1 J750GD, F as in FUCK, 12S. I bet you if I put this on the power supply tester, it'll fail. So I didn't even have to do that. I just pulled it, put a test power supply on the side on the bench, and then reran the benchmarks, and it stayed up, no problem. Didn't shut down once for 24 hours. So I'm like, well, it's definitely the power supply. So here we are, fixing an iBuyPower. Oh gosh, pop that up. So I just got to put this 850 watt 80 plus gold power supply. Power Spec is a Micro Center brand if you're not familiar with the brand. So it's by Micro Center. offers a 5-year warranty. It's 80 plus gold. It's true 80 plus gold, and truly an 850 watt power supply. So, and it's modular, which is cool. But I'm going to put all the cables in there for them, and then we'll get this thing fired up, verified it powers back on, and we'll move this to the side and actually move on to our build for the night. But thought you guys would be interested in, you know, seeing another PC other than just building. I do more than that. I do more. I do more. I do more. I do more than do. I don't know. I don't even care about this power. But boy, oh boy, do we get a lot of builds coming up this week. We're going to do, try to do 2 builds tonight. And then we'll be doing another 2 probably Wednesday night. And then at least 1 on Thursday. That's kind of our open build schedule this week. And then if we have one for Friday, we'll do another one on Friday as well. Or I might split. I might end up splitting Wednesday up a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alright, we actually don't need these. But probably just put them on there anyway, so they're there. We have more pieces. Okay. Hey, what's up, Ant-Man? Rockstar decided to put on an anti-cheat on PC for GTA after 11 years. Oh. Finally decided to do something. Don't you love it when they do? It's probably because they're testing things for the new one. That's probably what they're doing. They're testing it. You guys don't even know it, but you're guinea pigs. You're guinea pigs for the new one. They said, what's the top, like, 20 complaints we've had on the game, and let's try to fix that. And cheating was probably one of the top ones. But that's interesting. I don't play GTA. Yeah, GTA 6 is coming. Yeah, they probably used it. There is a rumor GTA 6 is going to be delayed into 2026. Youch. I mean, I've had a lot of people come to me for PCs to build so that they were ready for GTA 6. Wanted the best PC they could get with the budget they had, specifically so they could play GTA 6. Hear that it's not coming out until 2026 kind of sucks. Sorry. That sucks. So you know how I have this screwdriver and I have this screwdriver, right? I have two. I am the proud owner of this screwdriver now. You guys know what this one is? It's an LTT. The Linus Tech Tip screwdriver. So I've been wanting to try this because everybody says it's great. Of course, Linus says it's great. I won't lie, I've already used it a couple times. It's interesting. It's just not my style. I've had, but I think I could get used to it. The magnetic tips are absolutely awesome. I will say the strength in the magnet is very good. I mean, it holds that screw on there. That is a thumb screw. So it allows you to do that, but it is very, very grippy. So anytime you touch, there's no slide to it in your hands. It's basically your hands are being static as you're making the motion. Kind of hard to explain, but it's different. And then I also grabbed this one. I wanted to try a couple different toolkits, and I've been meaning to get one of these for a while, so I picked this up from Gamers Nexus to support for their journalism they did specifically around EKW. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what's going on with them, but that information is very important to us because that means I want to try to avoid EKW right now because I have no idea if they're even going to be a company in like 6 months or not. So for all their awesome work, I ended up picking up Gamers Nexus toolkit, which has a wonderful lot of screwdrivers, or drivers, should I say, for many different purposes, including for tearing down specific graphics cards, such as the Founders Editions cards, which are notorious for having those unique screws. So this is a kit I would recommend if you are a PC builder and you do have a ton of GPU teardowns that you do. Definitely worth the money. And it supports Gamers Nexus, who does spend a ton of time putting together the media that he does put together, which is very informational and helps all of us as we try to navigate this world of craziness around the hardware. I mean, he's done some pretty good, journalism on Newegg. He's done some pretty good journalism on EKW. He's brought up issues around ASUS and called ASUS out for it. And then called out Intel, of course, in the process of, for all their fun problems that we've been having. So support them if you can. Which you could support them by purchasing items from their store, which they have shirts, they have all sorts of stuff. I ended up getting a set of the Moscow Mules as well, since they were such a good deal. And we only had two. We didn't really have a full set. For just my wife and for Mrs. Empower and I. My wife and I. So, now a full set. For properly drinking mules. Moscow Mules. Yeah, I can understand why they did that, but still, I don't understand why they did it. Well, that sucks. Okay. LTT is a big channel and companies listen to them. This is Gamers Nexus that I'm talking to, but yes, LTT is also a big And Gamers Nexus is also a very large community, we'll call it. But they have a very large viewership as well. Boy, why is this so difficult to get in there? I mean, I knew it was going to be tight, but this is like... iBuyPower. Not be this thing. Now I understand why they put the radiator all the way to the front. Makes sense to me now. Okay, we got it. After batting it for the last, I don't know how many minutes. What? What email? What email? Like Google? See how much of a pleasure it is to build in a iBuyPower case? I'm about ready just to remove this radiator. Just so I could get this plugged in. Oh my god. That has got to be one of the worst design spots to put this. There's literally nowhere else I could put it, though. About the only route you could take to get there. Terrible design. When there's no space for your EPS cables on a ATX build that supports radiators on the top. That's the only other thing I could have done. Nope. Couldn't do that either. Never mind. Scratch any thought around that. Okay, well that's done. Thank goodness. Now we got to plug our hard drive back in. And then we have some extra cables that we have to bundle up and tuck into the bottom of the bay here. like starting out. Hey, what's up, world? Star? Steve, anything so proprietary on the computer that it what? Anything so proprietary on the computer that it will or all would not fit in a case like Montech case. Oh, this thing? No, everything would fit into a Montech case. So we could easily take this whole system and put it into like a standard ATX Montech case. So this is all ATX and it's pretty standard. It's just iBuyPower. The case itself is by iBuyPower, and it's just a terrible design. You could tell it's probably a slightly older shell that they just repurposed or redid maybe the front panel on, and or a couple other things, made a couple of changes to make it look newer. But you could tell fitting modern hardware in here is not ideal. It was maybe 2018 style chassis that they just repurposed. Fancied up with some RGB and some glass on the front, made it look cool. And if it looks cool, it sells. So that's what they did. Another thing I need to figure out is their fan speeds on all of these fans just run at basically 100% of the time, which is interesting. Shouldn't be. Also, it looks like they didn't even bother to zip tie anything. They just used the twist ties from whatever. Come on, guys. Could do a build right. Do it right. Gonna do a build at all. Do it right. All right, there we go. We got ourselves cable managed. One more there at the top. And then one of the last things that's still on its way, which we're going to be bringing in later. How's it going? World Stark, it's going pretty good. We got lots of builds to do here. Hey, what's up, Ed? The front looked like a mirror. Yes, the front is pretty much a mirror. It's like a glass. Steve, just finishing up downloading 7 Yakuza games. Oh, nice. But, yeah, we've got lots of builds. I got caught up about a week ago or so, and then we're all right back. Which means lots of builds to do this week. I'm going to really quick blow this out. Doesn't look like it did anything, but I think when we get the RAM in, I'll do a little bit of a wipe down and I'll take that off, wipe it down. Like we need 1 or 2 here. Keep this aligned. Maybe 1 down here. Or 2. That's about as good as it's going to get. I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do here with the case. And just the weirdness of the build. It's definitely strange. Well, let's just verify it powers up. And then we'll move on to Dave's build. I'm sure is waiting for me to get started on it. I emailed him about an hour or so ago. One thing I did want to do, though, is get into the BIOS here. Hopefully. Currently downloading games to my PC, running really nice, man. Nice! Nice! Good to hear. Question. Is the ASRock Phantom Gaming 5600 XT graphics card? What about it? I pick it up for 120, brand new, never used. You could actually pick up, I just picked up a 5700 XT over here, for like $120. So you could find better than the 5600 XT, but still the 5600 XT is good. The downside to it is a 6 gig VRAM card. So on more demanding titles and 1440p action, you'll probably be a little bit underperforming. The 5800 XT would have been the better option, which you can find for around 120. You just gotta do a little bit of soul searching to find it. I don't get why the CPU fan speed is running so high. Which one's which? Mine's 8 gig. The 5600 XT only came out with 6. There's no way that it's 8 gig unless it's an Asian model. I don't think I've ever seen an 8 gig 5600 XT. CPU fan 2 is our pump. So that... Oh. There we go. We want CPU fan 2, we want that to be DC mode. Fan 2 setting is full speed. Fan 1, we're going to select auto and we're going to set standard. Now let's change it to performance mode. There we go. Much better. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty looking case, you know, all things considered. The problem is, crap RAM, I think it's an MSI rebranded AIO cooler, and it's got the pump on the top on the radiator, which is on the top of the loop, which is dumb. And then the power supply was crap, which is why it was in here in the first place. And then some other weirdness in the build, but overall, crap RAM, crap power supply, just poor choices around hardware. I don't know who makes the decisions around the hardware for iBuyPower, but they could do so much better. And they could probably reduce the cost of the returns and return or support and put that into the actual build itself, and then be a better company and a better brand overall because of it. That could be a game changer for iBuyPower if they would just listen to somebody who knows what they're talking about. You got the ASRock Phantom Gaming GPU. It has 3 fans. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many fans it has. The 5600 XT Phantom or Phantom Gaming ASRock or any of the 5600 XTs, I'm pretty sure we're only 6 gigabytes. GDDR6, and I think it was 192 bit. And then the 5700 XT was your 256-bit. At 8 gigabytes, GDDR6. And then it was weird because the 5500 and 5500 XT came in 4 gig model and also the 8 gig model as well. So you could get a 5500 XT with more VRAM, but it wouldn't be as the clock speeds and everything else on the card wouldn't be as powerful as the 5600 XT, which was only available in 6 gigs. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure that is what it is. It's been a while since I've dealt with 5000 series AMD cards. Every now and then I'll have one come through here. Interesting. So, now we're just sitting here at a black screen. Oh. We're in. Never mind. It is because my cable's hitting the buttons. Yes, shut down. Okay, we know this one works. I'm going to go ahead and take it off the bench. And we'll wait for the RAM to show up. And then I'll finish this one up. RAM won't be here till Thursday. I ordered it. I'll button this one up and put it aside. Or move it over to the other bench. Get it plugged in. I'll start working on the software side and do the BIOS update and everything before the RAM gets here. And then this system just needs a physical clean and it's ready for pickup. But all of our random power issues are going to be gone with the new power supply. Yeah! The 6700 or the 6750 XT is 12 gigs. So that's an even better card. Definitely one of the better cards for your most bang for your buck is probably the 6700 XT right now. The 6750 XT if you can get it around the same price. Also a great card. Great bang for your buck. Okay. Alright, who's ready to move on to the actual build that we're here for? The build. The real build. That's right, guys. We're doing an Intel build. The first one in months. But it's okay. It's the 12700K. Not the 14th or 13th. Very light PC on the graphics side. It's an RTX 3060 that we're using. Primarily, this is going to be used for video editing. So he wanted something solid to start out with. He wanted Intel. This is what we ended up with. This was the most bang for the buck that I could get. We were at $957 with this system. So let's go ahead and run through it. I gave him as much wiggle room as I could with the power supply, but tight budget, maximized on the CPU, simplified the upgrade for the RAM, and got him a card that's going to support 4 screens, and he could do a little bit more graphical intense things with that card if he needs it. And then we went with a Peerless Assassin 120 SE. So CPU is a i7 12700K, and we're going to be putting that on a Pro Z790p Wi-Fi DDR4 motherboard. We have 16 gigabytes, right? 16 gigabytes of DDR4 3200, and that's G.Skill Ripjaws 5 DDR4 CL16. We also have the Thermalright LGA 1700 bracket contact frame for the CPU. We have 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD, which is a silicon power. I can't remember the model number. I think this was the UD90. Sorry, escaped my head. Cooling the CPU with a Peerless Assassin, and then powering the system with a 650 watt 80 plus gold. And we're going to be building it in the Air 903 Max by Montech. So great overall system with super good, at least as much bang as I could put into this for video editing. You could very easily just add another kit of RAM, so it would cost him about another $30 to $40 for another 16 gigs of this exact RAM, and then he'll have 32, which is the only thing I would recommend David to do, is to get this to 32, and that will significantly help with video editing. You can also upgrade even more RAM if you wanted to. The system is capable of going, I think, up to 128 on the DDR4. And then the other thing that he's probably going to, the next issue he's probably going to run into is probably the storage, because this is only 1 terabyte of storage. He's moving data back and forth. I think he said he had some external drives that he was planning to use, but more storage on the system would definitely help out as well. The rest of the system, very solid. So those are the 2 easy upgrades he can do himself if he wanted to, or just bring it back here and I could do it for him. But those are 2 very easy, relatively cheap upgrades that he could add to the system that would make it just that much better. But let's go ahead and let's get started, shall we? You saw it on Amazon for $310. You can actually find a 6750 XT open box for like between 280 and 300 easily on Amazon. Yes, it's open box, but generally they're generally fine. So keep that in mind if you're shopping around for a card. You're right, it's 6 gigs. Oh, I know I'm right. I don't want to rub it in or anything, but you know that moment when you know you're right. I knew I was right. Yeah, they only made the 6 gig version for the 5600. Alright guys, let's drop a CPU in there, a contact frame, some RAM, an SSD, and let's put the cooler on there. Let's go! Let's build this thing. Here's our i7 12700K, which is 12th gen. No, it is not $449. That is just a old Micro Center price tag. But thank you, Micro Center, for giving us a fantastic deal on the CPUs. You thought it was 8? Yeah, the 5700 XT or the 5700 and 5700 XT and the 5500 XT are the only ones that came with the 8 gigs on the 5000 series. Which, you know, again, kind of weird that the 5500 would include 8 gigs in their lineup, but 5600 wouldn't. Interesting. We're going to just drop our CPU into the socket here, which looks clean. And then we're going to put our contact frame on. Which is a LGA 1700 contact frame by Thermalright. This thing is super nice for the 1700. Or really you only need to use it on the LGA 1700. For like the i7 and up. What I recommend. And it's not because you need to, it's because it's like an $8 bracket that will gain you about 5 to 10% difference in your thermals. $8 is worth it. Nope. And the wrench, as well as the old contact frame, will be included with the build. So if he ever has to use this old bracket, he'll have it, or the original bracket that came with the motherboard. He'll be included with the build. All right, moving on to the next one, which is our RAM. Again, it's 16 gigabytes, DDR4, 3200, CL16, which is the G.Skill Ripjaws 5. We're going to be putting this in A2 and B2, just like normal. Yeah, if you want to purchase this exact kit, just let me know, and I can actually send you a link, David, to this RAM. If you wanted to double the RAM in the future, I can send you a link on Amazon where you can just purchase it. And as you saw, clips just come down here, like so, on the bottom and the top, and then you slide it in. It can only go in one way because it's slotted in the middle, and it's an uneven slot. So the RAM can only go in one way, but really easy. Just match up the letters just like they are on these ones, line them up, drop them in, you'll hear it click into place, and you're good to go, and you all of a sudden have 32 gigs of RAM instead of 16, double. So very easy upgrade to do if you need to double your RAM in the future here, which I assume that is something that you will likely do. And then again, for the storage, we're going to do 1 terabyte here, but you could very easily add a 2 terabyte or more. You have 3 additional slots on this board to add additional storage, M.2 drives. So it's very easy to do on this board, except for maybe this slot. This slot might be covered up by the graphics card, but you still have these 2 at the bottom, or you could just remove the card and have access to all 3 of them if you need it. But again, very easy to add the storage. I'll add the studs to the board just so they're on there, don't get lost. Or MSI has a tendency to ship them without on the Pro Series, which they did on this one as well. So I'll add them, just so you have those ready to go, and all you have to do is exactly what I just did. Nice. I do like to do that if the board doesn't have them installed, just so that they're there. And then you could always add the drives. No hindrance here. All right, let's get a M.2 cooler installed, shall we? How about a Peerless Assassin by Thermalright? Open this bad boy up and see what's in here. That is a massive cooler. And we have our hardware kit. Hey, what's up, some giant idiot? Is that the PA-140? No, it is a Thermalright Peerless Assassin. You know I'm a Thermalright guy. We thermal right around here. Although I have used those and those are great. Just wasn't within the budget. Hello, microphone. To the face. Nice. Thermalright came out with a 140 version of the Peerless Assassin. Yes, I know. It's one that I do want to try on a little bit more thoroughly. When I built it, it was kind of I got it because it was going into a large case, and it was a fix or replacement for a AIO that went bad, and the guy just needed something cheap that was going to keep up. So I was going to try that one. I didn't get a lot of time with it. I didn't do it on stream because it was a repair while I was here. I didn't have enough time with it, period. So for me to say I reviewed it thoroughly, I didn't. I got it installed. It's pretty much the same installation process as the Peerless Assassin. A little bigger, and it also it's probably a little noisier, I'd say, because, you know, it's got bigger fans on it. But it just sounds louder, you know. But yes, I am aware, and I have tried those before, and maybe not the exact one that you're talking about, like the new one, but the 140 versions of this I have tried. I just didn't get enough time with it to say I have an opinion. Like, I tested it, verified the temps were really good, but I put it under a Cinebench load a couple times in front of the guy, and we called it a day. But I did have it here because I did want to try it and get a little bit more time with it, but I never got to it because he came in and needed a cooler, and so he took it. And then I haven't reordered one. Ultimately, I was going to try it on my system. I really don't like selling things to people or recommending things to people if I don't try them, you know, and really feel them and understand them. Wow. The LTT store screwdriver, which I thought wouldn't fit in here, actually fits. I'm pretty impressed. Made that install actually very easy. Other than it is grinding up on the side. I really don't like that too much. I'm going to switch back to my traditional. By the way, I'm trying an LTT screwdriver. I also have the Gamer's Nexus kit that I'm trying as well. Haven't pulled those out yet, though. I will say the LTT store screwdriver is pretty smooth. Now can it survive as many builds as I do? Get that warranty out of Linus. Yeah, we can do that. We can make this happen. Do. That is one thing that I wish was a little bit better on this one, is you see the top of this fan stick out or stick above the cooler this far, and it's because of the RAM. Is I wish they would offset it towards the back a little bit. You know, I know that there would be additional machine costs there to do that, but offset it slightly to the back. So that way the fan on the front can clear the RAM. That would be absolutely fantastic. That way, if you put RGB RAM in your system, which usually if I'm working with a Thermalright Peerless Assassin, I don't bother with RGB because it's going to get covered up anyway. But you see what I'm saying, right? Something very simple. Thermal right, like an offset, that would help that. Just a design recommendation for Thermalright, if they are ever listening to any of my videos, which I doubt it. Although I feel like they did, because their AIO started coming with the fans on the correct, facing the correct way. After I pointed that out and complained about it for several months. I feel like somebody listened. Or somebody else complained about it, at least, maybe. I'm sure I'm not the only one that complained about that. I couldn't have been. What you're saying, some giant idiot, is that it would be beneficial for me to make a video or a review about the Thermalright, basically the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 140 version, because nobody else has. And I could do that. But I also have like a million other videos that I'm supposed to make that I haven't, or that I have recorded, haven't edited. I don't have money for an editor. Not yet. Maybe soon. Not that I'm like good at editing at all. There we go. Have the first portion of our build completed. We have our CPU, our contact frame, our CPU cooler, our RAM, our SSD, all installed. Nice. Let's get the case out, shall we? Guess what case we're running? Into the box or something? Oh. Oh. Oh boy. Well, that's never a good sign. The manual's on the front. I have my suspicions, guys. I'm going to investigate this, yes. This has been opened before. This has 100% been opened before. I am not the first person in this case. Did Montech sell me an open box for new? There's even fingerprints here. Those are not my fingerprints. Did we remember to taste the tasty paste? No, we did not taste the tasty paste, but I did apply thermal paste to the CPU, yes. Hey, demo. I don't even. How do you pronounce this, guys? Demoga. Demo. Gabri. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm gonna just call you Demo. I probably sound like an idiot. Welcome to the Build Show. Demole Gabriel. Gabri. Haha. Dimo Gabri. I don't know. Demole Gabriel. I try sometimes. I'm terrible at this. We already knew that. Okay. Well, since I'm not the first one in here. Aha! Girl, you're yanking on me. Oh, you'd like a kiss and a hug? Good night. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say good night to a little miss. Okay, so we're missing some studs here. Looks like somebody did open this up. 100%. And we added 2 studs here. Or moved some studs. So we need to move these 2 and then add 1. This is definitely an open box case that I purchased new. We even got some SATA cables with the case. Interesting. But we at least have all the hardware. I hope. That's definitely open. My suspicions were true, guys. I suspected correctly. Nice. Oh, that's not magnetic? There's Nexus. I figured this tip would be magnetic. I assumed. Time to go to all do you know who I am on Thermalright. You know who I am. Greetings from Brazil. We do always attract people from other countries late at night when we stream late. Well, it's nice to meet you, Gabrielle. Do you know who I am? I don't think Thermalright even knows who I am. Although, I have had to return a couple of things to them a couple months ago, or about a month ago now. So they definitely were in contact with me. At least their support was. But I don't know how far they investigated into me. Who is this guy? But I don't think I'm at that level yet where I can say, do you know who I am? Not even close. I really only do that to like other PC builders here in Michigan who just are completely talking out of their ass. That's like one of the only times I'll ever pull. Do you know who I am? Blake is going to use my pick for the lunar eclipse on the air tomorrow. Nice. Yeah. If you want to drop that into the Discord, if you haven't already, go for it. I'm sure there's a few people I would get a kick out of that, including my wife, Mrs. Empower. This is definitely interesting. The LTT screwdriver is very interesting. It's like driving a Cadillac screwdriver. It's very effortlessly. There's a very little effort to achieve screwing. English is hard. Do. Like, it's been opened and somebody tried to start a build in here before. You could tell that, but all the cables are exactly where they would be, so it's not like they got very far. So I think somebody started a build in this case and then returned it. And I don't know, they just resold it as new. Maybe they opened it up as a demo. I don't know. Strange. But there's no signs of like damage or anything on it. I haven't seen anything other than a couple of fingerprints, and the hardware was definitely opened. That's really it. Oh. Yeah. There we go. We got our motherboard installed. Now let's get our cables plugged in. Which is all there. There. Yeah. Good. But everything else is exactly where it should be. That's, I guess, the other thing. Very interesting. All I can say. I run into a couple of these a couple of times now, where it's like, sold new, but everything's perfectly fine, and it's like, okay. Definitely wasn't new, but okay. Not my first time running into them. Funny what, fine companies try to sneak one through. Yeah, it's new. Definitely open box, but that's okay. It's perfectly fine. There's no... It's basically brand new. I'll take it. Okay. That over. Plug everything in. There we are. Now, what do we do? Well, we could drop a graphics card in. Yeah, let's do that. And this is a RTX 3060 by Zotac, 12 gigabyte. Look at how powerful that magnet is. Ah! Oh, was. Starting to look like a PC. Let's get the power supply in, shall we? I think we could beat our build speed record with that LTT screwdriver. No joke. Saves a few seconds off, as long as you get good with it. Good with it, though. It shaves a few seconds off. True. There's potential there. my APS cables were like, bye. There you go. About as clean as it's going to get it from the front side. Now we just got to finish cleaning this up. You posted that in the bar chat? Was the only place I could find to share a picture. Oh, I didn't know there was permissions in the chat, so I'm sorry. I'll have to go back and fix that. I thought it was pretty much wide open for everybody, so I apologize. Yeah, the bar chat's not a bad place to put it there. There's a lot of people there. I think most of the people that play on the server use that bar chat. We mostly play bar. Or have been lately. But you guys are always welcome to join. If you're ever interested in learning what bar is, it's an RTS game and it's free. Not yet available on Steam, but it will be in the near future. Basically a Total Annihilation remake, which is a very old RTS game, similar to kind of the, whatever you call it, I think it's StarCraft experience. You miss that nostalgic RTS game with a little bit of a new spin taste to it. Beyond All Reason, which is aka Bar, is a good RTS to go play. There we go. We got some pretty decent cable management there, yeah? This is build number 152. Clean up some of the hardware and then we'll get this thing fired up for you, Dave. I don't know if you're actually here watching or not. Didn't see you checking in the chat. But if you are, we're gonna have this thing fired up here in just a momento. Uno momento. right. Dave, if you are here, we do need to have you tell us when to power this thing up. As we switch over to the side view. When I was in the Army, I was there. There was an RTS called Steel Panthers 2. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Modern Battles. They actually had some names from friends that were in the units. Oh, nice. Noctua. Cooler? No, this is not a Noctua cooler. This is a Thermalright Peerless Assassin in black. I don't think Dave's here with us. So I'm going to go ahead and one of y'all's tell me is to push this button, and the first one that tells me to push this button will make it happen. And if you don't say anything, I'm just going to do it myself. Yes, sir. The Thermalright Peerless Assassin is one of my favorite tower air coolers of all times so far. Because of its price. The price and performance you get, the performance per dollar, is absolutely unbeatable. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and push this button. I'm going to start it up. In 3, 2... Yes, I was a big Deepcool fan, but I don't think you can currently get any Deepcool products in the United States at this time. 1. I was not trying to flip you off. I was trying to hold my vape and push the case over to the side a little bit, all at the same time. There you go. Here, have a little bounce. She looks pretty. Thank you. Yes, she does. And she's posted. So we're posted up. We're in the BIOS. We have the i7-12700K, along with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 and an RTX 3060 with a 1 terabyte SSD in here, and a Thermalright Peerless Assassin and a Montech 903 Max. The motherboard is an MSI Z790 Pro DDR4, and the power supply is a 650 watt 80 plus gold by Sojotep. It's a great system to start out with. I think we came out to $957 for this system build. And it's going to be very easy for him to upgrade and add RAM to it. Hey, Ant-Man, our website is empowergamingpcs.com. I can type that over to you right now. There she is. Except I spelled empower wrong, so let me undo that and fix that. Need to think that he knows how to type. There's the correct address. Although it's very possible that I have that domain also. That's what I heard too. Yeah, unfortunately, they're not able to sell in the US or distribute in the US or sell in the US. But they are able to sell and distribute in other countries. And I think the main reason why was because they were distributing to Russia. And so they got sanctioned because of that. Nice! Yeah, if you're saving up for a new PC and you have any questions on it, for example, this build, solid build for $1,000, but we could do it just a little bit better with like another 100 or 200, we can get you a better graphics card, and we can get you on the AMD platform. So this was just under 1,000 for this one. I got some really cool, because I've been having to get really creative, because that's like the go-to number right now is people want a PC, and really the max budget right now is in between 1,000. Well, I'll say in between 800 and like, I'd say 1,200, 1,300 is kind of the sweet spot right now for people buying PCs. That's kind of the target zone. What's the GPU in it? This is an RTX 3060, which is the Zotac Twin. Zotac Gaming Twin. I think it's the Twin. It's got the 2 fans. I know it's a little dark in there. But it is already midnight. I didn't get started until about 10. We went 2 hours into this build, which is kind of surprising. I thought this would go a lot quicker. This one. I'm going to have to reschedule Mr. Evan. I'm going to have to reschedule your build to tomorrow evening. I will get started on it probably at around 5 p.m. And that way, if I get started on 5 p.m., I should have it ready for pickup a little bit later that evening for you. So we'll still have it ready for pickup later tomorrow. But it's just going to bump these back because I am tired today. I don't think I'm going to do another build tonight. I thought I could squeeze 2 in, but this one took a lot longer than I thought it would. And I don't know why. I don't know what I did. What did I do on the stream, guys? Nice. 8 gig or 12 gig version. Always, only ever the 12 gig version here. I don't ever use the 8 gig version of the RTX 3060 here. Never ever. And also, I prefer the RTX 3060 over the 4060 unless somebody says that they want the upscaling DLSS 3.0. And then if that's a thing, and then they're basically, if you're playing AAA titles, I'm gonna choose the RTX 4060 over the 3060. If that's our budget range. And then if they tell me that I can go with an AMD GPU instead of a NVIDIA GPU, I'll put them on the 7600 XT, which has got 16 gigs of VRAM and will run circles around both the cards. It's not that much better, but it's better. So the AMD 7600 Radeon RX 7600 XT 16 gigabyte is a much better value than your RTX 4060. Another great card, yes. So that's kind of like if they give me free reign, or if they tell me they want an NVIDIA card, or they specifically want a specific card, I'll look at it and make sure it makes sense. But if they prefer NVIDIA over Radeon or AMD, then, you know, I have to work with that. I believe it beats it in most games, yes. It does. The extra VRAM, especially in like 1440p, really helps. 1200 is a deal for already. I already have a 4060. Well, yeah, you definitely use your current existing 4060. If you are not local, you could ship it to me, and I could even put it in, or we could build it without the GPU and just ship you the PC without the GPU. It's just I'll have to temporarily put a card in here for you to set it up, and then, or use onboard video if it has onboard video. So Ant-Man over on YouTube, we could definitely do that. If you just wanted to use your 4060 and build the rest of the PC, definitely can. Ant-Man, is that Alex, by chance? I just put 2 and 2 together. No. Okay. Then you're not the person I thought you were. Sorry. I don't know. I'm thinking of somebody else. All right. Well, I'm sorry, Evan. We're going to have to continue the stream tomorrow evening at about 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll launch, go live, and we will start your build since it is already almost midnight. It would be early next year when I have enough money saved. Yeah, no worries, man. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to be building, streaming, building, streaming, building, streaming. Hopefully, we'll get some videos, more videos up on YouTube, especially around the tech tips, because those are hot. Like, that would definitely help the channel grow fast. If I had some time to put together some really good informational videos around maybe selecting parts or talking about specific things in builds that I think a lot of people misunderstand, just to provide some clarity, I think it would be beneficial. Help grow the channel. You know, get some more followers. Then we could do some cool things. By the way, let me go back to the other scene real quick. I know we're not really looking at anything by going to the other scene, but if you guys haven't noticed, on this scene here, in the very hippity top up there, right there, it'll cycle through some images. Oh, look at that one. So there's going to be a pretty cool video coming up talking about that. Just want to throw that out there. And I also want to do a video about the screwdrivers. My LTT SOAR minus Tech Tip screwdriver. And then we also have my screwdrivers that I use. And then I bought a screwdriver set from Micro Center. And then I have the iFixit kit. And then I also have the Gamer's Nexus kit. And I wanted to do a video about all the screwdrivers and the differences of them all, basically, and just kind of talk about them. And each of them have their own, I guess, perks. So if you're a long-time builder, the other thing is we want to put the LTT SOAR screwdriver to the ultimate test and see, well, yeah, I just picked up a whole bunch of screws there. But we want to see how long it actually lasts, especially the ratcheting feature. I think that's going to wear out over time. Relatively quickly. I don't remember the exact warranty on this, but everybody says it's a great screwdriver. We're going to put it to the test. You know, last year we did 733 builds. That's a lot of screwing. Weird. I feel weird saying that on stream. But that's a lot of screwing with a screwdriver. Not the one you could drink. And it'll kind of put it up to the test. This year we're definitely down on the builds. We're not nearly anywhere close what we did last year. But I feel like we're going to have a massive, like this is a massive constipation going through the year. And people are just saving the money for new builds for kids and whatnot, probably more towards the holiday. So I think it's going to get extremely crazy during the holiday in December. Y'all ship worldwide through USA. We only ship through to the 48 connected United States. If you need us to ship outside of the United States, you will be responsible for the entire cost of the shipping and also the entire cost of the tariffs when it goes across the border. So if you ask us to ship across the border, we can do that. I've had a couple of people in Canada have me ship them a PC, but they had to take care of the taxes when it meets the border. So when the package gets to the US or Canadian border, for example, it'll be held there until somebody pays the taxes due before it's released and sent to its destination. What about Texas? Yes, definitely. That's within the United States, so I could definitely ship it down to Texas, no problem. In fact, I just shipped one over there a couple weeks ago. The massive one that we built that we had all sorts of issues with, that went to Texas. So we could definitely ship to Texas. That is one of the 48 connected United States. Yes, sir. takes a little while to get down there, especially depending on where you are in Texas. It sometimes could take a day for the package to maneuver in Texas alone, which is, you know, because it's a massive state. So it depends on where you are time-wise. Generally, shipping is anywhere from 3 to 5 business days. Saturday counts as a business day for UPS, but we ship UPS ground, and generally it's 3 to 5 business days. That is your cheaper option for shipping. If we go to faster options, then obviously it costs more. But all right, guys, I'm going to call it here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us and also hanging with us as we built David's PC. And tomorrow we're going to build Evan's PC on stream starting at around 6 p.m. Eastern Time. 5 to 6 p.m. is when I'll try to start and go live. You know me, I never am on time, so don't hold your breath, but I am going to try to start around 6 p.m. And then we should have another PC after that. So at least one more after that. 1 or 2 more. If we get started early enough, we can maybe get all 3 of the PCs that I need done tomorrow. Good night. Thank you, Ant-Man. You as well. Have a good night. And we'll see you guys on the next one.